Hi, I'm Brad with On Your Feet, and this next tool is called Future Stories. We're going to be giving you a couple of different ways to look into the future and think about what's coming next. Let's get started. This first experience is called Future Fill-In. I've added a template that we're going to use into the chat window. I'd like you simply to fill in the blanks. Today, things are going adjective. But over the next blank time, things will be going adjective. Individually, forecast into the future.
Awesome. Today, things are going a little bit disjointed, but over the next 2 months, we are going to get our act together because people are going to start to meet more regularly and have a structure to work within. And this is going to make us a lot less confused and a lot more single focused.
Okay, great. So what I'm picking up there, and we can talk about this later, is that what we need is more structure. That's kind of what's in your head, and this storytelling format brought that out.
Today things are going confusingly because we will be finally understanding that new software that we have.
Okay, so Troy mentioned that new software. Who else sort of has that in their mind, that new software being pivotal for us, Gary? It seems to me like, this has helped us get our thoughts out on the table quickly. So let's dive into some of the questions that you just brought up. So the thing about this experience actually is it's not that it captures reality perfectly. It's that it allows us to get our thoughts out on the table. How are people feeling about the future? What's an appropriate time horizon? Is it 3 days? Is it a year? What's on people's wish lists in terms of what they think is desirable or even possible? It's meant to sort of spark conversation. It's not a business plan. It's not a strategy. It's simply meant to be a quick way to get your ideas out into the collective space. This next experience is called Future News Report. It's using a template, again, to foretell the future, what's coming next. But it allows us to do two things. It allows us to work in a group, and it allows us to get more detail into our stories. So let's get started. Bringing to life an actual news story from the future. Imagine March 19th, next year. It's a news anchor talking about how this team, our team, has succeeded. So I put the template into the chat window. And as you open that, you'll see some of these specific things. Along the way, they met the unexpected ally of blank, faced the challenges of blank, and found joy in working by blank. What you're going to do is actually fill in those blanks.
All right, everybody. Okay, so let's talk about what this might look like. So imagine we're in the future. What's the award that our team might have won?
Best collaborative team in the company. Like, people want to work with us because we're great collaborators.
Yeah, that's good.
And how far in the future do we want to put this?
It's going to happen in 6 months.
Okay, who's gonna play which role?
Just that sort of like content expert,
I think I'd be really good at anchor.
I think you'd be great at anchor too.
Team member, because somebody's got to represent the team. So I will absolutely gladly play that role.
Yeah.
Can I get some intro music?
I'll do it. Good
evening, everyone. I'm Mara Gold, and it is March 20th, and I am here to tell you about a team that has recently been awarded the honor of the most collaborative team in the universe. Now, this is a journey that started about 6 months ago. Let's talk to an expert who can explain how this first got started. Doctor?
Why, thank you. My name is Dr. Finkelman. I teach at Harvard and at Yale and at Princeton on collaborative teamwork. And I have to say, I've been so impressed with watching this team. What I've seen is almost a case study in excellent listening and building upon ideas, and most importantly, empathy and respect. And I'm really curious to dive even further to understand more about this team. Back to you, Mara.
Thank you, Doctor. As the doctor said, they had to adapt and really acquire some new skills that some people have referred to as soft skills. But I would think when you talk to this team member, Jenny, she'll describe a little bit more about how those skills came into play amongst the team.
All touch and go at first because it was hard to let go of my own ideas as being the best, most important ideas. But I guess what I've learned over these few months of really practicing these essential skills for collaboration what I've really learned is that sometimes the best idea isn't one person's idea. The best idea really comes from everybody adding their expertise at the right time. So it's a little bit of being ready to have your idea heard and also being willing to just add on to somebody else's at the same time. It's been pretty cool.
That's remarkable, Jenny. Thank you so much. As a result of the remarkable work this team has done, celebrities from all over the world have been chiming in on their great success. We first caught up with Kim Kardashian, who had some things to say.
Collaborations, super hot.
Thank you, Kim. We reached out to an expert in the field of psychology to learn a little bit more about how this was attained. Dr. Farst?
Hi, I'm Dr. Farst, and I wanted to just comment on some of the specific elements that they were using. So they were really able to break down psychological boundaries by understanding that confirmation bias is not just a bias, it's a process. And they have all those mechanisms to detect all the different times that confirmation bias can occur. And they've been just a great job at getting rid of it and just being the best. I'm so impressed. I think they all deserve PhDs. Thank you.
You heard it here first, everyone. Everyone on this team is getting an honorary PhD from Dr. Farst.
Yay!
What you just saw was a team of professional improvisers bringing to life a news report. You don't have to be that sort of funny or speak with a brilliant Scottish accent. That's a high bar. Really, the idea is just to be creative, have fun with it, because some of the elements that emerge there are actually pretty interesting to talk about. Practice or BKM for you to be on the lookout for is to use details, specific people, specific sort of elements or software or really details of any kind are important, rather than saying it was good, it was cool. You know, what was good, what was cool, what happened. The more details you can provide, the richer your news report will be and the richer your story will be as well.
So while narrative theories in academia are quite vast and sometimes contradictory, the main element that they all have in common is that story is more or less the idea of because. Something occurs because of something else. And that's the essential block of story. So if you want people telling stories, you want them using the word because.
This has been the Future Stories experiences, where you can explore the future and think collectively about what's coming next.